difference between a headache and a migraine? What causes them? When should you see a doctor?
Yeah, here with the answers to those questions and a whole lot more, Dr. Wendy McDonald. Thanks for coming back.
Thanks for having me, as always.
Okay, yeah, so first, what is the difference between the two?
Okay, so typically a migraine is going to be something that's going to come on usually on one side of the face or one side of the head. 70% of migraines are unilateral, meaning they're not on both sides.
Okay.
They often will be accompanied by like nausea, maybe vomiting, maybe some light sensitivity or sound sensitivity, which is different than just what we would consider a headache, which is probably going to be more of a dull pain that's not going to have those other symptoms.
Okay.
It's often severity and also some of these like additional symptoms that make it worse.
Okay, so the migraines usually are here or here.
One side or the other.
Okay,
Yep.
what about the headache? Because they can kind of all over your, it seems like your face.
Tension headaches are often kind of more above the brow, so they may be like a kind of a tightness or a pressure above your both eyes. You may see sinus headaches more around your face, maybe even in the middle, more around your cheeks, I mean. And then you may feel like a cluster headache or even like a teeth grinding headache that's going to be more around your jaw or even kind of coming from around your neck.
You get what are the ones I sometimes get them at the top of my head too, or at least that's where it feels like
I don't know what that is.
Okay, that's just me being unique.
No, but probably still just a headache as opposed to a migraine because it's kind of just more in the top of the head. So then I'd be wondering, when we talk about headaches, I try to break it down into like kind of head, top down. Is there something that's on your head? Are we wearing like headbands? Are we wearing like tight hair? Are we sleeping in a position that's like keeping our neck in mid position that could affect our, the top of our head?
Okay.
But then there are also other causes like hormonal causes.
There are. So some people have something called menstrual migraines, which means like when their period is coming, the vessels change, the vessels kind of dilate, and that can cause a headache. And so for some people, they actually do better with like birth control to prevent their periods from coming when they have like menstrual headaches or menstrual migraines. For others, it can just be like, a pregnancy can cause headaches. People in pregnancy often can get more headaches. And then headaches in pregnancy also can be a sign sometimes of preeclampsia. So that's a whole different discussion, but worth talking to your doctor about if you're having more headaches than normal, specifically in pregnancy.
And then all the lifestyle factors that can cause headaches, and I'm assuming migraines too.
Social media can cause headaches. And I don't mean the actual like reading and scrolling. I'm talking about how we hold our phones and how we focus on, that space. And even something like a computer screen, when we focus on something that's closer to our face, or when we're like really intensely focusing on something for a long time, that actually can strain our eye muscles and cause headaches. So we have to be careful when we're like, say on our phone, that we're keeping it at a little bit more of a distance than right up on our face, and that we're keeping our head mid-position, because if you're constantly with your head down, that can also cause headaches. So that's one environmental cause. Another environmental cause that people don't often think about is smells. Strong perfumes, candles, smoke, those types of things can cause headaches as well.
At what point do you start getting worried? Okay, you can have a headache. I mean, kids cause headaches.
Husbands cause headaches.
Every day. People can cause you to have headaches. But at what point do you say, okay, I need to go see a doctor about this?
So first thing I would do is actually keep a journal. Keep a log. Is it related to the days that you don't have caffeine? Are you having more headaches on those days? Are you having more headaches when you don't sleep on your bed, you fall asleep on the couch? So first thing is collecting that data, because if you do that, then you're going to be more likely to have information to provide to a physician, when it's time to be evaluated. And who do you want to see? You want to see your eye doctor. Is your prescription right? Are your contacts doing what they're supposed to do? Are your teeth, are you grinding your teeth at night? Do you need to see your dentist? And then, obviously if you're having like the worst headache of your life, you need to go to the emergency department, because now we're worried about like a bleed or something in your brain. If you just have what we call a thunderclap headache, suddenly your head is pounding, that is not the time to go home and go to sleep. That is the time to seek emergency care.
Are there things that people can take? Because you see the commercials for migraines and chronic headaches. I mean, are there things people are then prescribed that can help manage that?
Yeah, there's migraine medication, and often a neurologist will also be able to evaluate and make sure, like, are these migraines, are there triggers that we can avoid? But then there are medications like Imitrex that people can take daily to avoid migraines. But I think the biggest thing is really to try to tune into what your causes are, because even something like taking daily Tylenol for a headache, you can actually get withdrawal headaches from taking daily Tylenol. So one of the ways to reduce that chance is actually to stop taking the pain meds. And sometimes the headaches will actually get better when you're not treating them constantly.
Speaking of pain meds, is there one better than the other? Because we have the ibuprofen, we have the acetaminophen, and then what's the other one?
NSAIDs?
NSAIDs are like ibuprofen, Aleve,
Got it.
naproxen, like those. I don't know that one's better than the other. I think that you have to be careful taking too much of anything because, you know, we talk about GI ulcers and liver toxicity if you're taking excessive amounts of any medication.
Yeah.
And so you do have to be careful to not take meds just saying like, oh, I need more. Let me take more. Let me take more. You don't want to trade your head for your kidneys, you know, or your liver. So it is important to be mindful of like what's on the bottle. And there sometimes are ways to take like more than what's on the bottle, but you need to be under doctor's advisement, you know, to do that.
If you're somebody who doesn't get headaches and then starts getting them all of a sudden, is that also a signal of an onset of something bigger?
Possibly,
Okay.
and worth talking to your physician about it for sure. Because you know, is there something else? Is your blood pressure elevated?
Yeah.
We talk about blood pressure as a silent killer, but sometimes it's not so silent. Headaches is one of the causes. Can be
Okay.
one of the causes
Okay.
of of headaches. Elevated blood pressure. So yeah, I think that there's always an opportunity to evaluate, to check in if symptoms are starting to arise that were never arising before. But think about things like, you know, summertime shy. Wine can be a trigger for people for some.
I don't want to hear
And
that.
I'm just saying, you know, especially wines that have a tyramine in them, like
Yeah.
certain red wines, aged cheeses, aged meats. So there are triggers that we may not even realize that now we're consuming more.
Well, simple dehydration from having alcohol, right?
Dehydration.
Oh, Dr. Wendy, always giving us something to think about. You can reach her at lukeobgyn.com. Also, Dr. Everywoman on social media. She's got a fun little post going every other day or so. Check her out. Thank you, Dr. Wendy.